So Bon Jovi and Naomi Campbell. Naomi Campbell knew you like in person, like when you met her in the studio.
I couldn't believe
That's
it.
absolutely amazing. I grew up with her on Fresh Prince of Bel-Air. Will Smith, like all that sort of stuff. Like Will Smith. Everyone knows Will Smith as well. I mean, like they used to, they were in a calf called the Peacock during the show, and they'd have like banter, and like Will always sort of wanted to secretly date her. And then she didn't, and they were too much of friends, and then be backwards and forwards and all that sort of stuff. That was the first time I ever saw Naomi Campbell on like television. That's my part of my childhood, like Fresh Prince of Bel-Air and stuff like that. So, as I said, like she was like a host of America's Got Talent as well, which is a branch of the niche that you more or less created through X Factor. As I said, you as an entertainer on X Factor, you entertained, not just singing, And I also think that you pushed the barrier. With a lot of the performers at the time, they had to perform more because you were there, So you made it like just before the semi-finals. So just as you exited before the semi-finals, you were really pushing the barrier as to what we at home really wanted to see, So as I said, like we wanted to see more of Wagner on X Factor because you entertained us, you made us laugh. I remember. When I was younger, the same year, 2010, X Factor, I used to go down to my nan's. The whole family was around the table, and we'd always say, because we were Jamaican heritage as well, and we were always like eating our soup or peas, rice and peas and mutton and all that sort of stuff. Rice and peas as well. That's
fish.
That's me.
Ackee
That's
and
it. Ackee and salt. I got some ackee in the cupboard.
Do you?
Yeah. Like that's definitely my kind of food. My heritage and stuff, and like we have a culture of. Everybody's around the one TV. We're not separated family-wise. We haven't got brothers and sisters upstairs. We've got cousins, second cousins, first cousins, all around the table at Christmas time and on a Saturday and a weekend. And we're all watching the TV, stuff like this, and eating the rice and peas and the mutton and, whatever my nan decided to cook, or a soup. And it would be that time. It would be X Factor, And what would be your Christmas? What would be your Christmas number one if you was to make a Christmas number one? That'd be really interesting as well because the X Factor always aimed at Christmas number ones as well, didn't they? What would be your choice of song? Like, would you create a song in Portuguese? There's a lot of avenues. Being able to talk more than one language opens up a completely different. Your act when you're doing your gigs could be, well, I'm going to sing to you in Portuguese. I'm gonna.
I never sung in my gigs in Portuguese.
Yeah.
Because there are no backing tracks.
Right. Okay.
In Brazil.
Right.
Karaoke is not something that Brazilians do.
Right. Okay.
So I can never find backing tracks for the songs I would like to perform.
Yeah. And like another thing that I thought as well is like there are two X Factor stars on Butlin stages, Pontin stages, Reggie and Boldy, and they are inspired. They must have watched you on the X Factor and thought, okay, now we can give it a go, because obviously that's your niche again within the X Factor, what you created. So they are on like Pontin stages and Butlins, and they travel up and down the country to Pontins and Butlins. Is that something you considered, or is it something that you just haven't really thought of, or thought, what are your thoughts on that? Like, because there's a lot of X Factor stars that go that avenue towards Butlins and Pontins. Is that something that you just haven't considered or just looked at, or is it something, do you prefer to be...
I perform anywhere.
Anywhere.
Even when I'm invited to. Doesn't matter where.
You hear that? Pontins, Butlins, Part Dean, Wagner is here for hire. So if you want Wagner on your stage, you just heard it from the man himself. He will sing wherever you choose, for a venue. So... You've heard it here first.
As you started talking with Jamaican accent, you made me remember a song. But the other day, someone asked me to sing on a video.
Yes, okay.
Go like that. Me never believe ya when you say ya something tight till it I squeeze ya. Oh, she back it up on me. Oh, she back it up on me.
Yes, yo. Wagner singing dancehall tunes as well. Takes dancehall. Yo, this is a whole new level. Wagner sings dancehall tune, and he also sing in Portuguese, and he also sing in our English. So no matter where you're there, if there's a birthday he can sing for you. It don't matter which part of the world you're there, you're going to understand what I'm going to say. You can start different language.
Me never believe ya. When you say something tight till it I squeeze ya. Oh, she back it up on me.
DJ Khaled.
She back it up on me.
DJ Khaled needs to call up Wagner now. DJ Khaled needs to call up Wagner now because he can switch. And that's another talent in itself, man. Being able to go from different genres, different languages, and break that barrier. As I said, constantly breaking barriers. And the thing is, the man's so humble, he doesn't even know he's doing it. Right? So the thing is, when you're hiring Wagner, you're actually getting more than you bargained for. That's something as well. Like, how much is it? You know, I know you do your gigs and things like that. Some celebrities are millions. Like, I've looked at, I was going through a website blog the other day, and I was seeing how much it is to hire, like, Snoop Dogg and P. Diddy. And it's expensive to hire those guys. It's where they earn like a lot of their income. I can see that they go for bar mitzvahs where it's heavy, expensive bar mitzvahs and all these sort of things, and that's where they get their. You know, you can hire me for an hour for £1 million. Like, you know, what's your thoughts on that? Are you that way? Are you going to go into the £1 million hiring, or are you a different sort of field and you don't want to?
I would like to earn millions, of course, but I only earn thousands.
Yeah.
These guys you mentioned are mega stars. I'm only known here in the UK. I'm only famous over here.
Which is still huge.
They're really famous all over the world. I'm not. I might be known by some people in Europe that watched the UK X Factor.
Okay, yeah.
Because they do. It's like in Malta, they watch the UK X Factor. And I met ladies from Malta in Ireland. They said they came to the X Factor tour.
Yeah,
to
that's
see
amazing,
me.
man.
I was amazed that they came from Malta to see me live.
Yeah.
Yeah, but these guys, they can charge fortunes. I can't.
Yeah.
And especially if I'm dealing with bookings with people. People can't afford that. If I want to please them, I have to accept what they can pay.
Yeah.
Otherwise, I won't see them.
In pricing yourself as a star, you know, it's something that's not spoken about very often, like pricing yourself as a celebrity and then scaling what type of celebrity listing you are and how to price that sort of thing. YouTubers are now getting into that sort of environment. KSI, I'm sure, will start getting into that environment. Logan Paul will start getting into that environment and hiring Zoella for a public appearance or a book signing, all those sort of things. It's not something that is spoken about very often. It's normally something that's tucked away and hidden, you know. So it's good that you've considered like who you're selling to and who's buying.
Yeah, it's like when I did that advert for, was it EE? It was with Kevin Bacon.
Yeah, Kevin Bacon. Yeah.
Yeah, I was paid a few thousands of pounds to do it.
Yeah.
When I do adverts for established businesses, I also charge a few thousands.
Yeah, which makes sense. Like,
and also a nightclub can pay more than a birthday party or a wedding can pay.
Yeah.
So you have to be flexible.
Yeah. Do you do?
I can't expect someone having a birthday party to pay thousands of pounds to see me. Like, they can't afford that. So I have to make a choice. Either I go for a much lower price and have the pleasure of meeting people, or I say, oh no, I won't go for that. Which is,
what's
you know, never forget that at one point I was counting pound coins.
Yeah, you lived in Dudley, wasn't it? It was Dudley.
I was on benefits once.
Yeah. And we all know how we know how that feels on benefits as well. It's a hard time.
It feels awful.
Yeah, I mean, like having to go to the job
feel
centre.
like you failed.
Yeah,
and that's how I feel. If I'm on benefits, I feel like I failed.
Yeah.
Well, not so much when I had the surgeries, because I had to have that.
Yeah.
I had to have it.
I mean,
I was on what was called at the time incapacity benefit,
which doesn't exist anymore.
It doesn't exist anymore.
It's not a thing anymore, and you know, universal credit is a new benefit system. You know,
I've heard of it.
Yeah. Everybody's afraid to talk about that system. You know, I've experienced that system. I've had friends that have been through that system as well, and compared to what was available before, it's very hard. It's very difficult. It's difficult to get out of that rut. There's people that feel like they've failed now, you know, and I really do. I want to drive home that message as well, you know, of saying, look where Wagner is now. He didn't go for a normal 9 to 5. He went through avenues to get himself into his passion. So what I really want to drive home, and if you've been watching and keeping up with the videos and this podcast, I want you to really understand Wagner's story on a whole and how inspiring he actually is. And as I said, the man doesn't know how inspiring he actually is and what he's done. And the reason why I say this is when you've been on benefits and you've got out of that system and you've gone for like your dreams, you know, you haven't gone for, I'm going to sit down and, you know, go for the lowest paid job as quickly as possible so I can get out of this rut. You've taken not taken your time, but you've used every avenue you could to do what you love. Because eventually, you know, in life, when you're in work, you know, that's potentially going to be the job that you're going to have for the rest of your life. If you go for that position, that's potentially, so you got to make it count, you know. And I think you make it count because you're not, you know, just doing your passion. You've got people smiling, happy, joyful.
By the way, I have something to say. You see, when I'm not on stage, when I'm not singing, I'm just like you. I can be really miserable.
Yeah. This one, he's got alter ego. He's like superhero. You know what I mean? And the Love Shack t-shirt and the merch is the superhero t-shirt. That is what brings Wagner's story as a whole. And you know, so when you're buying that t-shirt, you know, you should think about that. Think about that whole story, everything's been through. It does remind me. You remind me a little bit of UB40 in that respect. And UB40 are very respected, especially around this area. Of the West Midlands, like UB40 is very recognised. UB40 actually got their name from a benefits paper form.
Yeah.
That you had to fill out. That's what UB40 stands for. Not a lot of people know that, but UB40 was actually a name of a benefits form. So they were going to the job centre and they were signing the UB40 form. Right. So then they wanted to, you know, bring people out of the depression of being on those benefits.
Interesting.
And they named their band UB40 after the form, UB40 form in the benefit system and job centre and all that sort of stuff. You know, so